All right. Welcome, everyone, to this Hangout. We're doing a training live today. You're seeing some new faces on the screen here, and, some of us have done a little more than others, and, as you'll kind of see our faces in and out here as we move around, oftentimes in a Hangout, especially when you're recording, as someone's talking, that's going to be primarily the person you're seeing. I know a lot of you have done Hangouts, so we encourage you to, this is going to be fun. Last week we talked about the Joel Comm interview with Les Hewitt, and today I have a friend with, and I encourage you, if you've not watched that in the Learning Lounge, I want you to do that. And Jeff, earlier we talked about my fish back here. Can you see that all right? That's a fish story there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a 91-inch sailfish that we caught in Cancun with, in fact, several people that are part of the rollout of this company. Had one, was in the top 40 with that company. We had 110 people go down there, and I caught the largest fish. Man, I was seasick, motion sick. We were about 25 miles out, and that was a 91-inch sailfish. That was a blast. So I thought, you know what, that's a good little backdrop for this Hangout train today. But anyway, I have a special friend of mine on. His name is Sam Mendez, and Sam is involved heavy in technology, the app world, application world in a big way, specifically in the area of music. And Sam, I visited you, I think about 3 or 4 weeks back at the big Southwest Music Festival there in Austin, South by Southwest. I know you guys helped sponsor the Grammy party, and we asked you to be on here today because we're encouraging people to join in with this global branding campaign that we're launching this coming week, and we don't want them to miss the steps of this because they have their own brand, Sam. So I thought, you know what, I know you're getting ready to launch that brand, and you guys were all over, you guys had your brand out there at that huge festival. So I'm going to turn it to you for a little bit. You've had an experience with technology, I know, way back in the early days of technology, and so I just want to, I want them to, hear from other voices that are building companies, building brands. So Sam, I want to turn it over to you.
Very good. Thanks, Bruce, and thanks, Jeff, and hello, everybody. My name is Sam Mendez, as Bruce pointed out, and I want to make one clarification. I am not the Sam Mendez that won the Academy Award about 10 years ago, nor am I the same Sam Mendez who directed Skyfall. Great James Bond movie, by the way. I highly recommend it. At any rate, so I'm this Sam Mendez, and I'm the founder of a company called FastFan. You may see behind my shoulders 2 Texas license plates that say FastFan, and they're waiting for either a Maserati or a Lamborghini. So they'll be up there for a little bit. And my company, FastFan, is a Texas-based company. I am based in Texas. As a matter of fact, I'm based in the live music capital of the world, Austin, Texas. And if any of you have never been to Austin, Texas, I invite you out here. It's a great city, great city. A little bit about what FastFan does, and I want to talk a little bit about how what's about to happen with this launch, this introduction that Bruce is talking about, why it's so important. And I'm going to give you my personal story in terms of how this company I have, it's a startup essentially, how we're going to roll out in this summer with something huge. What FastFan does, we're a digital entertainment media discovery and promotion platform and app. There's a lot of words. What it means is that we're going to help artists, new, undiscovered, and old artists, either be discovered or rediscovered and promoted. This idea for FastFan is so unique that we've actually applied for several patents, and we're almost 3 years down the process of obtaining those patents worldwide. I won't bore you with any of those legalities, but I will tell you this, and building a platform like this it's a team effort, first of all, and we have a great team. In fact, we met today with our investors and had another great meeting. You know how those go, Bruce, Jeff. And but building something like this that is first global, deals with music, deals with labels. You can imagine, you think of the big labels, think of the big, your legal rights, publishing. I have to talk with people across the country and in other countries, much like many of you out there who are in businesses like direct sales, as an example. Coming back to the South by Southwest conference that Bruce just pointed out, South by Southwest conference is the biggest digital music, interactive film conference in the world. It lasts nearly 2 weeks, and it basically stops Austin. Austin, I mean, if you're not involved in any of those computers or games or film or music, you might as well leave Dodge, because you won't get around. But the thing about conferences, especially that one, is that people come to conferences ostensibly for several reasons, but the real reason they come here is to network, to have those face-to-face with people in their industry. And it's not just this industry, music or film, it's any industry, hospitality, auto, security. All industries require that face-to-face. But we know, one, that can be expensive. Two, it's not cost effective many times to go to a conference, let's say for instance in London, just to have face-to-face. We have, as an example, at FastFan, we have a very important vendor who's based out of London, England. And we speak to them, either them or their affiliate in San Francisco, regularly. So you can imagine what the advantages are to being able to have a face-to-face with these folks out in the UK or in any other country, or heck, even in San Francisco. As much as we like to travel to California, many times it's just not feasible. So my company, again, I'm the founder of the company, but like I said, we're a team. We use a lot of the tools that you will be learning, or if you haven't already learned, to use through this company here. But what they're about to do is even more impressive. And if I may just say one thing that's most important as far as I'm concerned is, on the internet we can learn a lot of things. I probably know about as much about digital music, as an example, as most people that I know. However, I didn't get all that knowledge simply by going out and researching it. No, I had to have shortcuts. I went to the best bloggers, the best music sites, and the best aggregators of that information. The reason I bring that up is, in spite of all the great tools, this video tool, for instance, the collaboration tools, file sharing tools, tools that, I'll give an example, Google Drive, which rivals Microsoft Office. All these tools are awesome tools, but they mean nothing if you do not know how to use them and utilize them, not only in your business, in being successful, but in your personal life. They make life so much better and so much nicer, but you have to learn how to use them. And this is where this announcement for this week comes in so importantly. This is what it's about. This, if you do not know how to use any tool, a hammer, if you think it's a screwdriver, it's not going to make sense. Again, that may not sound a little silly, but I am shocked at how many people don't know about this Hangout. I'm shocked at how many people don't understand even Gmail. And the word is shock simply because they're missing out. You're missing out if you don't know about these tools. So again, I'm in the technology business, have been for many years, and these tools help me in everything I do, and help our team. So
Sam, I was going to ask you another question, because today specifically, I mean, you work with all social media.
I do.
When you're launching a brand like you are, and the reason I wanted you on here today is, what we're doing next week, and you know what, last week, it really is fun. Last week, one of the things Joel said, Jeff, and you remember this, is be authentic, be real. And, you know, in most cases, you know, the word maybe relaunch wouldn't be used, but it's not. It's a clarity. It's a clarity of our objective and goal. We are, and you know what, Sam, you're right. When I'm looking at you and talking, I can feel your passion. I know that you're in the technology game. You're not just a spectator. You live it every day, and you know that. And we talk often, and you know the terminology and the global campaign we're getting ready to launch, and you know the vastness of it. In fact, you know, you shared with me when I was visiting you, you know, about Fiverr, what you used that company to do, and I know Jeff's going to talk a little bit about that later, but you know, involved with Twitter and other things. I mean, you're innovative, you're creative, you're always looking at what's popping up, how does it apply to what I'm doing, and that's you know, it's you're right. It's about the sequence of doing things properly. You know, what's funny about direct salespeople, they always shortcut. It's incredible how I get emails and support. I'll see support tickets that people will talk to me about and say, look what this guy is saying, and I'll call the person up, and they've never even set up their Gmail right, Sam. You're right. They've never even labeled their Google Plus. And Jeff, I know what even you're sharing today about just the look and feel, how simple it is to get help if you don't have it. And that's what we're about. We're about a sequence of events. I think everybody has got to be involved in this social media craze if they're going to benefit over the next few years anything online. They've got to be creating that community and those contacts now. And Sam, just for a couple of minutes, because you've helped us file trademarks and stuff, you know the terminology we're getting ready to launch with, the slogan and some words that we're getting ready to use. Just share that we've had this one, you know, we've talked about, Keith and myself and you, for 9 years, and we're just using that. And just for a couple of minutes, I know it's kind of one of, you know, leading blind mice because they can't see it, but this next week I'm so excited about it. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm excited for you and Keith, because like you said, I've been around for 9 years since that idea first came out between you guys. And I know the Dallas team has been working super hard on putting this in the best light, because while it isn't, I think it's going to be intuitively obvious to anybody who sees it.
Yeah.
I know that you know, and especially Keith, are I wouldn't call you perfectionists maybe, but you definitely want to make things simple for people, and I've always appreciated that. I think what's going to happen this week, again, I go back to the idea of learning and how to use things the right way. You're absolutely right. It's about sequence. It's also about not taking things for granted. You know, I've heard people say, I don't need a Gmail because, well, I'm already on Yahoo. Heck, I bought Outlook. And I think to myself, well, sorry to hear that. But you know, and I don't mean that as a jab necessarily at Outlook. I actually use Outlook sometimes. But what I mean is that there's this tendency sometimes, for instance, Google Plus. Well, I don't want to use Google Plus. I'm already in another social network. Well, let me tell you, you can be on many social networks. To Bruce's point about social media, it's not the future. Anybody who says that social media is the future does not know what they're talking about. Social media is here. It's the present. It is a minute ago, it's now, and it's a minute from now. It's going to be here. In what shape or form, we don't know. But the ideas, the convergence of communication, data, and data creation, which it means so much, and I don't want to bog this conversation down with all that, but that convergence is happening before our eyes, and you have an incredible opportunity to not only be part of it, but leverage it for so many things. And what's about to happen, and what the rollout that's going to happen on Saturday, I can only say this, is that I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, and I've used this technology. I use Twitter, I use Facebook, I use Google+, I use Hangout, I use, well, so many CRM tools and management tools. I use a lot of things, and I'm still excited about what's going to happen on Saturday. because it's going to make things even easier for me as more people learn about how they can use all these things to make their life better.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
succeed at business. But
Yeah.
I'm excited, Bruce.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sam. And I'm going to just clarify one thing, because this is going to be playing Saturday, and I know Jeff's shaking his head. That next week, again, this rolls out. It will be very specific when, but Sam, I appreciate it. You hang on here with us, or our faces are going to be shining here as Jeff talks. But Jeff, I know you've done some stuff this week that's just been fun for you. I got a kick out of being in Fiverr and doing some things, and I know some people say, "What in the world's that? What are they talking about?" Well, you know what? Here's what I love, and this is what's so good about having Sam on, Jeff, leading in this segment. You have pros. You have people who, millions of dollars and money's invested in things, and I talked to a lady earlier this week, a couple of days, actually yesterday, a lady, and a couple of years ago she went to a conference, a digital media conference, boot camp, and paid several $1,000s to go to that. And you know yourself, Sam, I mean, this stuff is being discovered by pros. I mean, this isn't openly discussed that this is how you do things. But, Jeff, this is $99, no monthly. If people,
Exactly.
I hope people will follow along and take us to heart. And just, man, the stuff coming out over the next few days is just going to be like, wow. And they can go back to these videos. So, Jeff, go ahead. I know we were long-winded.
Well, and I'll be brief. This is some key information. What I love about what we heard from Sam is here's a man that has built businesses based on social media platforms and on technologies that are available on the internet. Now, he said when he led his discussion that, we have a big team. It's not just me. I have a team.
And we do too, yeah. Good point. You're going to get us in trouble. He's Keith and my buddy. Good point, Jeff.
Well, listen, I can imagine what you guys are all feeling as you're watching this right now, because we have been, for want of a better term, teasing you with this for a couple of weeks now, right? And we've been telling you about these amazing things coming out. Now, I want you to understand that we have had, and we do have a game plan, and you're seeing it unroll right before your eyes. Now, picture this. 2 weeks ago, we talked about how to get your own domain name, because it's so important to brand yourself. You can't really do that if what you want to promote is a moving target, and sometimes it is. Some of you are promoting us. Others are already well down the road of promoting something that they've been doing for some time now, but they want to identify their efforts by their own domain, their own name, their own branding. Look at the difference between Bruce and I right now, who are stuck kind of between these two realities. You don't see any nice license plates behind Bruce or I, do you? But Sam, who's building a business, first thing he led with, and as we were preparing for this call, he made sure those license plate behind him were visible to all of you, because that's what you do when you're in business. You brand yourself. You make sure people know who you are and what you do. So I appreciate Sam showing us in the real world how these things get done. So listen to this rollout plan. We start by suggesting how important it is to get your own domain name, because that will be you no matter what you intend to do over the next, 30 years? Doesn't matter. Once you've got that domain, you can brand yourself from now on. Okay, last week we talked about expanding your horizons into Twitter, getting your own Twitter account. This week we want to talk to you about what it takes to actually use these social media tools, your domain, Twitter, whatever else you're doing, and actually continue this branding exercise so that you've got license plates over both your shoulders too. And you can do that with your business cards. You can do that with your web presence all over the place. So in a very real world, what we're going to be sending you after this training is complete, you're going to be getting an email or access to further instruction or videos. And this, in particular, this week, I've been assigned to investigate this Fiverr thing. Now, to tell you how new I am to this, all week long I was looking for a website called Fiverr with a B. I came to find out just before yesterday that it's Fiverr. Now let me tell you how interesting this is. We all know about the dollar stores and around our neighborhood, right? You can go there buy everything for $1. Well, on the internet, because it's all higher end, higher tech, turns out that the dollar store is really a $5 store, and it's kind of centered at a company called Fiverr, F-I-V-E-R, and then throw in an extra R.com. What an amazing and exciting website that is for any of you that don't have it. And here's why it's important for you. Sam's got a team. We've got a team. Do you have a team at home? Most of you don't. Well, you're probably associated with a company, either ours or one that you're already doing business with, that's probably providing accounting and payroll and other important facets that means you don't have that overhead. But how many of you have your own graphic artists?
Yeah.
How many of you have your own media department, your own web designer? Well, not very many of us on a personal level. And yet, to effectively brand yourself, you need to. And so this Fiverr company, really what it is it's a whole supermarket of talented people that have the software, the ingenuity, the creativity, and the time. If you need a logo, they got logos. And get this, almost everything you ask them to do starts at just $5. You say, okay, I've got my domain name, but I'm not that clever. I don't know how to run Photoshop or Illustrator or any of these programs. Plus, I don't have the $2,000 to buy the software. But that guy at Fiverr for $5 will use all of his vast experience and create a logo just for me. Now, if I want a super duper logo, I might have to spend another $5 upgrade and another one and get all the way up to $27. But man, am I going to have an excellent branded logo when I'm done. And it might be animated and it might be 3D. And the videos that I put out for myself, they might look as good as the ones of the company I'm representing right now. So we're going to introduce you to Fiverr through this the video training that we're going to do. And right now, having previewed this, you can spend some time and just look through there. It's amazing. You can get your Twitter page design there. You can get your web page design there, an animated custom logo. You name it, they can do it. Now, there's another aspect. Now that you're launched into the social network world, what everybody wants and what everybody in sales want, and I know that Sam wants this, you want more people following your, subscribing to your service and discovering your artists, right, Sam?
Right.
Okay, what
Absolutely.
we want, whatever we're doing, is we want more, we used to call it in sales, we want butts in seats. We want to pitch our thing to more people, okay, as often as we can. And so, in other words, we need to touch more people, we need to reach out to more people, we need to tap into other people's social networks. And we can do that. Get this, one of the Fiverr services is for $5, they'll actually go get you 100 or 200 or 300 more followers on your Twitter feed. Well, if you get them retweeting on your behalf, that 100, 200, 300 could turn into 500 or 1,000 almost overnight. Now, do the same thing on your Facebook account. Do the same thing in your Google+. Just go check out Fiverr and see if that doesn't make this whole experience, this whole training today worth it. And then look for the video that we're going to be showing you as well. So here's what we've done. Get a domain, get a Twitter account, start to brand yourself. There is in every teaching hospital and in the U.S. military, they have a teaching method called see one, do one, teach one. That's really the exercise that we're trying to bring you through right now. We're exposing ourselves and you to these wonderful tools that are available on the internet. We're experiencing them, we're showing you how to use them, and then we're letting you go do that same thing yourself for you and the people in your group, in your team, in your sales organization, whatever you are. On this training that we're going to show you in the video, we're actually going to show you a good, better, and best model of how to brand yourself all the way up to and including hiring people like in Fiverr. So we're excited for you to see that video. Just tap in, get busy. Now, we understand, we've been teasing you for a while. Here, I live in Utah, and in Utah not too many years ago, we had a really interesting campaign that was probably 6 months in length. It was on the television and the radio, and it said this. I don't know if this was national or not, but it was a whisper campaign, and it said this. All it did would show, you know, a beach scene or a mountain scene, something pretty, and then some woman would just she would just say, "Tesoro is coming." That's it. It was like visuals and Tesoro is coming. For 6 months, everybody here said, we know it's coming now, but what the heck is it? We can only imagine that you feel that same way. Well, it turned out to be a new gas station. Okay, it wasn't that thrilling when it was all said and done, but it had everybody buzzing. Next week, Tesoro is coming, and we want you to be here for it. So we're we're excited for what you're about to see. We appreciate, Bruce, your time today on the Hangout. Sam, so nice to get to know you a little bit and to find somebody where the rubbers hit the road that's used all these social media tools to put something and build something genuine. It's the kind of example that we really do want our folks to see.
Thank you, Jeff. And by the way, just really quick, tesoro in Spanish means treasure. So we can all whisper, Tesoro's coming, for real.
And me.
There you go.
Love it.
Job.
All right, everybody.
Close,
Thanks.
man.
We look forward to being with you
Right.
on another Hangout soon.
All right, thanks.
Take care, guys.
All right.